Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. All right, my friend, today we are talking about one of the most common heartbreaking stories that we parents live through. Most parents that I talk to are so confused as to why their relationship seems awful and hard to deal with, and they don't know how they can turn it around. They feel like they've tried everything and their teen just hates them. I hear things like, why is my teen so mean to me? Why don't they like me? Why won't they talk to me? Why are they always so grumpy and mean, but then they're nice to their friends? How can I fix this? When people in the family are thinking that other people in the family are hating on them, namely when we think our kids hate us, it can very quickly escalate to not good conversations. My friend, I have created this episode for you and a PDF. It's one page. It's a cheat sheet with over 30 of my favorite responses and questions to diffuse these heated confrontations, to turn them into really pleasant, connecting conversations. You'll love it. It's free. The link is in my show notes. Again, it's just one page. I'll email it to you, and boom, you have a whole set of responses. I've even broken them down into 4 categories, like when they're mad, when I'm mad, when they won't talk to me. I don't know if you guys have a kid like that. I feel like most people have a kid like that. And so I want to give you double insights because that's how committed I am to your family being healthy and happy. Listen to the episode. You're going to get a lot of insights from today's episode, and then click on the show note link to get the free PDF that is going to give you even more actionable ways to respond to them and get them to talk in a healthy way. So to recap, today I'm going to cover why your teen hates you from your teen's perspective and how you can respond with love so that you can, one, identify the root causes, which is always important to know how to fix the issue, and thus shift the dynamic to create a positive home environment. Are you ready? Because before we actually get into any of that, we need to start at the very beginning, like the very, very beginning. This fact that they hate you. But do they actually hate you? I want to take this topic on in first person because last week I was certain that one of my girls hated me. And if you're like me, it eats you alive when a loved one isn't feeling it. And I just felt like she was giving me the cold shoulder over and over. She would give me short, clipped responses. And I'm a really great mom. And so I just thought, why is she so upset with me? What is going on? So of course, I asked her what was wrong, if she was mad at me, if something was happening at school. I gingerly danced around her for several days, trying to figure out why she was mad at me before I actually believed her. And she is my most honest child with me as far as what she's thinking and feeling. She was just tired, but fine, but stressed. Basically, beginning of school year shenanigans were going on for her, and I was taking them personally. It had nothing to do with me or literally anything I could really help her with. She has lots of tools, and of course, we talked about using those tools in situations. And so, before we go thinking that our kids hate us, you have to be honest with the evidence that your brain has gathered to substantiate such serious claims, such tough accusations. So unless your kid actually said, I hate you, you're the worst, I wish you weren't my parent, or something along those lines that's very explicit, why do you think they hate you? Here's what I hear a lot of parents say. They want to live with your ex, so that must mean they hate you. They didn't tell you what was going on in their life. They trash talked you in texts that you read. They hang out with their friends and blow off your invitations to do things on the weekend. Or maybe they lied to you. Maybe they don't do what you say or suggest, or they don't like to go to family functions, or literally any other reason. So if you think your teenager hates you and they haven't explicitly said, I hate you, what evidence is your brain trying to build the story around that they hate you? While you think, I want to remind you, for me, it was my usually warm and affectionate daughter giving me what I interpreted as the cold shoulder. So think about it. Be honest. Why do you think they hate you? Because before we solve for them hating you, we need to be clear that that's actually the problem. Otherwise, it's like taking Tylenol to treat a nosebleed. Doesn't really work. Oftentimes, parents interpret their teens' behaviors in a very egocentric way. In other words, they make it all about them. Crazy thing is, teens are very egocentric. And so usually their reasoning for their actions and behaviors and words has literally nothing to do with anyone but themselves and what they want, not you. They want to live with your ex because they get away with things, or they have better food, or they live closer to the school. It's about your kid getting what they want, not about you. They didn't tell you what's going on or lie to you because they don't like being lectured or judged. They trash talk you because they're connecting with their peers and want to feel like they're seen and understood. They blow you off because teens like to be together and maybe they want to flirt with their crush. They don't follow your guidance because it's not what they want to be and think. And maybe they think family functions are boring. A lot of teenagers do. And it has nothing to do with how awesome everybody is there or how much they love you. Our kids do things because of them. And even if they say it's your fault, it's actually still because of them. See how it's all about them and actually nothing to do with you. If you need help deciphering, like when they say it's your fault, but you don't see how it could be your fault, or you agree that it's your fault, grab a call with me and we can chat over all those nuanced details. I can help you clarify and make sense of all the confusing aspects of it. So, now that we know if your teenager actually hates you, or if you're just making their behavior mean that they hate you, but they actually don't, let's talk about when they have said, I hate you, and the aspects that are on your side of the street, the things that you get to clean up and deal with and learn to manage better. So let's say they've actually confirmed disliking you. Great. This is actually really good news because they are expressing themselves, and teens who fight with their parents want a relationship with them. They are putting up all kinds of flags and signals for you to reach out to help them to connect with them. So I promise if they're saying things like, I hate you, you're the worst, that is better than them not saying anything at all. It's giving us somewhere to start, which is fantastic. The first step in cleaning up your side of the street takes humility, which requires strength, which we can grow and develop. I fully believe that you've got this. We need to ask ourselves what is true about what they're saying. How did we contribute to the problem or the situation that we're now in? Did we assume? Did we judge? Did we blame? Did we manipulate? Or in any way behave badly? One of my favorite object lessons, or a great way to test for this, would to be, let's say you're on a reality TV show or you're famous or something, and there's cameras and mics everywhere. You can't hide any of your behavior towards your kid, and all of it is public, would you be proud of how you're parenting? Are there moments where you know you behaved badly? We want to parent so that 9 times out of 10, we are proud of how we showed up, and we're happy to let anybody and everybody see how we treated our child, how we treated the respect level in our home. That's step number 1 in repairing your teen's hatred in the realm of what you can control. Now, I want to be very clear, this does not mean you need to be perfect. We don't need any Mrs. Brady's here. Our kids need to learn how to own mistakes and apologize, and we are the primary examples of how this is done. So we get to master the art. And I just want to say it is so lovely and freeing to say, you're right, I was being judgy. Or any of the other responses that would be acting in integrity with our highest self. And again, my cheat sheet of what to say instead has over 30 phrases, most of which can be used in this exact situation if you want specific ideas or examples of what to say. I'm not going to go over in the podcast for the sake of time, but the link is in the show notes. These are killer phrases, my friend. And when we can own our side of how we're contributing to the problem, it frees up so much more space to love them and to see them and to help them. And just like we shouldn't expect our kid to be perfect, we shouldn't expect ourselves to be perfect. We just need to get really good at repairing. I think it was in the Habits books by Stephen R. Covey, the 7 Habits. One of those books talked about how we're all bank accounts and we contribute to one another. We need to make sure that 9 out of 10 interactions with our kids is an emotionally safe, loving deposit, so that when we do have a withdrawal, when we mess up, there is enough in the bank account to withstand that withdrawal. And especially if we can repair, because then that is giving a deposit back to our child. And so if we can shoot for like 80 or 90% of the time, being able to control ourselves, control our words, and show up in a loving way that we would be proud of having on public television. And then the other 10 to 20% of crushing how to repair when we get it wrong, we are doing a fantastic job. So that's step 1. Once you know that you've actually got a teen who isn't having it, own your stuff and clean up your side of the street. That means manage your behaviors. And again, we can discuss this over a free consult if you like. It can be so painful if you DIY it, and with a coach, it can be so much faster and less painful for you and your family. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. Now let's discuss reasons your teen hates you that are on their side of the street, what they need to manage for themselves that you cannot do for them. My friend, anger is a secondary emotion. It's like the big brother protector of our more sensitive feelings. So we need to ask what is under their wrath. Perhaps it's that they feel unsupported, unseen, unfulfilled, vulnerable, unloved, misunderstood, unprotected, or some other need that's unmet, and they chose to counterbalance with an emotion that provides some sense of what they lack. Anger and hatred is strong and loud and seen. If it meets this need, it is something that they will go for when they need it. They're telling you they hate you because they can't regulate themselves. It's a call for help. Let me reiterate that. If they are angry, that anger, that hatred towards you is a cry for help that they're trying to protect themselves and counterbalance a much more insecure, vulnerable emotion. It's all about them, and your job is to focus on them. We want to keep it about them when they say hurtful things. Keep it about them when you want to think they hate you, but they actually just wanted to hang out with their friends instead of you, or they had a fun weekend with your ex. You don't belong on their side of the street except to help them learn how to keep it clean. And we do that through example and offering them tools and guidance. This can look lots of different ways. Can sound like, hey, I heard about what you said about me, and I'd like to know more. Is that actually how you really feel about me? And if yes, why? And if no, what made you say that? And it's okay. We want to ensure safety. I want you to be honest with me, even if you think it will hurt my feelings. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Honesty is more important here. I see that you're angry. Tell me everything. How am I the worst, the most unfair? I want to see and understand your perspective. And when they won't talk to you, I have a section on my cheat sheet just for this situation because I know I have a kid who does that, and I think we all do, that goes basically nonverbal during their teen years. There are other options. Sometimes it's fun to pass notes or send Snapchats or texts, give smiles. With my non-communicative teen, I would offer support in like micro sound bites, one sentence, maybe a compound sentence, but that's it. I would just say, hey, do you want help today? Did you think about the offer that I gave you for finding a therapist or something? Like whatever it was. And then they would just grunt and walk off. And I would count that as a win. Just little nuggets, little sound bites. If you want to talk to a professional, I get it. I'm sometimes hard to talk to. You're right. I'm happy to help you find someone who's better equipped than I am. Talking is hard. What's most comfortable to you? With one of my kids, I just had to baby step a few words here and there to show them that I was more trustworthy than our history had proven. I had to prove that they were safe talking to me because I had behaved so badly for so long. And so being patient is really important. That's step number 2, helping them as much as they'll allow without being weird or manipulative to clean up their side of the street. And then the third option that could be going on, and it's the number one reason they might hate you, that is for both of you to try and solve together, is something beyond their control is happening to them or within them. Now, for sure, this third category is something that you're going to want professional eyes on your child for if you suspect anything of this kind. I always advise you to err on the side of caution and have things looked at from an educated perspective or 2 or 3. This could be situational, like bullying or other abusive behaviors that you may not be aware of. Are they dating somebody that's treating them unkindly? Are their friends not being very nice? This can incite anger, again, to feel powerful in at least one area of their life. This could also be mental and emotional struggles that could potentially need professional help, perhaps even a diagnosis of some kind. Did you know that depression makes teenagers, especially girls, prickly, mean, and nasty? Anxiety, because they bristle to show strength against how scared they actually feel. OCD can look mean and nasty because they are so uncomfortable and nobody is folding into the behaviors that the OCD demands for comfort, like cleanliness, for example. So you have one child that hates their sister because she always wears her clothes and she can't handle the germs and the dirt. In way too many forms for me to accurately cover in a podcast. So I'm not even going to try. But if you're trying the first two options, or if you suspect it could be a third option, again, it is worth every amount of time and money for you to go get some professional eyes on your kid to make sure that there isn't something else happening that they need professional help for. Honesty with what you're seeing and in discussion with your teen is huge in unraveling the mystery behind their hatred. And I say that with air quotes. I think very few teens actually hate their parents and mean it. So when you understand that there are generally three root causes to their behavior, and when you can tell the difference in real time, is their anger valid based off of my behavior or how they perceive my behavior? Or does it have nothing to do with me? Is there something bigger than both of us at play here? Then you can implement loving responses that will shift the dynamic and create a more loving home environment, which I know is what you and I both want. And so I want to give you just a couple of practical strategies to shift the dynamic and create that positive home environment that you can practice on your own. Now, I want you to keep in mind that these aren't to elicit desired behaviors from your kids, because that's manipulation, but rather to ensure that you're doing your best to love them from your highest form of integrity. And I will say that usually kids respond to that. But we don't want to start right out of the gate trying to manipulate their behavior, because then we typically end up disappointed. Number one is the most obvious. Just ask them. And then listen without defending yourself. This is really hard. I have had to do this with my kids on several occasions. They're clearly upset with me, and I want to justify. I want to say, well, yeah, that's because da 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 da. No, none of that. None of that. Keep asking why. Express love. Own what's true about your parenting. Yeah, that was kind of manipulative of me. I'm sorry. Tell them that your relationship is so important to you that you're willing to see yourself through their lens. Now, this doesn't mean no rules or becoming a doormat. You don't have to change anything that you find valuable. It's understanding their perspective as valid that you're doing here. Number two, allow them to be mad and even hate you. It is okay. Love the crap out of them all the same. Ironically, the more kind and loving you are, the more quickly they might recognize that you're not a monster. But again, if you're doing this in a manipulative, sneaky kind of way to get them to change their mind about you, tragically, you'll probably act in accordance with what they assume about you in not the best of ways. Number three, buy them lots of puppies and kittens and gift cards. Just tricking. Maintain boundaries and rules. Don't fold into whatever they say they want to feel better. This is enabling behavior. It's not healthy for them in the long run. You don't need all those cats and dogs, I promise. If you have a few quality rules that are there for good reason, like around phones, curfews, media, keep them. If you don't allow yelling at each other in your house, keep that. Any stuff that you find valuable, keep it. And love the crap out of them, whether they follow those rules and cross those boundaries or not. Did you know that there doesn't have to be any drama around broken rules? Sounds like this. Bummer. I love you so much, and you can't have the car tonight because you know that's what happens when you come home at 2 a.m. But we're going to pull out some games and watch a movie, and would love for you to join us. I love you so freaking much. Or you can find a ride. Please be home by midnight. That's literally it. That's all it has to sound like. If you need help executing this, if it sounds good, but you can't quite wrap your head around understanding it or applying it, which is totally understandable, please book a consult with me. It's a free 30 minutes. Even if we don't end up working together, you're going to walk away with some really strategic next couple of steps for you in your exact situation, and it would be really fun to meet you. So until we talk next time, either on a consult or next week's podcast, I will see you then, and I wish you the very best with you and your parenting.
Is expert in the field, she knows her stuff, including how confusing it can be. I've tried it all, and it's a lost cause. Lying in the closet cause you feel that being on thinking this piece down the corner and there's your right hands. You just want your life anywhere. So take it to pit it parenting you.